Couldn't touch any of the red buttons.
It's kind of my goal to get the 4-year degree.
And I was like, this is what I'm doing. There's no turning back.
Has that scarred you permanently? Breaking planes left and right and doing really illegal things, which it was a lie when I said it.
The planes are so sexy. It didn't even look real. It looked like a set.
I never felt like I was missing out on the college experience.
When he asked, do you want to have a little fun in the plane?
Just say send it to Sling, you know?
It is nothing like you'll ever do in your entire life. Don't wing it, sling it.
Hey guys, it's Matthew from Sling Pilot Academy. At Sling, we have students of all ages training here, and this week we're going to highlight some of them that are straight out of high school. We have 3 students that are still currently in the program, and 1 that's moved on to a Part 135 charter operation. Stay tuned to see how those students got into aviation at such a young age, and why you can too. Enjoy the video.
Hi, I'm Sage, and I'm working on my private pilot.
My name's Mikey Donovan. I have my PPL. I'm currently working on my instrument.
Hey guys, I'm Sullivan Kolakowski. I started in the August class and I'm working on my private pilot's license.
I'm Andrew. I'm the assistant chief here at Sling. I've been here since August 2020.
I was probably in 2nd grade. I didn't like anything else but airplanes. Yeah, my dad's a pilot for Southwest. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of in the blood. I was probably 12 or 13. I would go with my dad and his friends, and I would just sit there, but I loved it. And sometimes they let me fly, but you know, couldn't touch any of the red buttons.
So my dad was he's a pilot as well. I take flights with him once in a while, and I was never really super into it, but then as I grew older, I was like 15, 16, I started going more and more. Just like doing just flying around, just fun too. So I technically have I had like 20 hours in the Cessna, just spread throughout.
Okay, so funny story. I could say that I've been wanting to do this since I was 1 because I was born in October. And my first Halloween when I was 1 year old, my mom actually dressed me up as a pilot. But the truth is that when I was 16, I joined a program called Civil Air Patrol. And they actually sent me to Utah for a week to fly gliders there. And then that's when I got the flying.
I don't really know where my aviation kind of itch came from. Just since I was 4, my parents said I was wanting to be a pilot since then. And yeah, thankfully I had the opportunity out of high school to visit some colleges, go look at every riddle, and ended up visiting Sling and chose this place. Originally looking for a college, yeah. It was kind of my goal to get the 4-year degree, but we were looking at pricing and all that, and found that it cost less money and get me where I needed to be faster if I went to an accelerated program.
I'm so used to my dad being a pilot, so it didn't seem like all that new to me, but the more and more I got involved with it, flying, then I started training by myself, trying to land it and stuff. Just a lot of fun, the exhilaration of it.
I always knew. I remember going to an air show with my dad when I was probably 2nd grade, and I remember watching the Blue Angels fly over, and I pointed up and I looked at my dad and I was like, this is what I'm doing. That was kind of it. He was stoked because he's a pilot.
As soon as I got on the plane, I was like, this is for me. There's no turning back. I wanted to get in the air as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, no, joining it, I was career. I wanted to fly the big airliners, and never really thought about general aviation being part of it, but actually ended up falling in love with it and still enjoy doing the 61 general aviation flying. Went through the program as a CFIer for 8 months, and then got hired by 135 charter airline, where I fly a King Air 350 and a PC-12. So capped on one of those, been there for a year now, and as of today, just got hired to fly a Boeing 737 for a cargo airline.
My dad made me do the King's Schools 3 times this summer. 3 times. He'd walk into my room, make sure I was listening to the ATIS at KTOA, and he's like, you fall asleep with that on.
Wow.
And I did.
Has that scarred you permanently?
It helped me though, because then I got here and I was just it was just kind of embedded in the back of my brain, kind of became just sunk into my lizard brain, and now it's just it's definitely easier though.
In Civil Air Patrol, I was on a scholarship, so I attended ground school through them. I did do the Kings through Civil Air Patrol, and then also they sponsored me to fly gliders in Utah for a week, so I had a lot of exposure to aviation through that.
Yeah, not really throughout high school. Really, since I was 10, my parents got me a little play yoke, and I played Flight Simulator X on my mom's computer, and did that for 1,500 hours just in the simulator alone. So I didn't know what I was doing, and I was definitely breaking planes left and right and doing really illegal things, but nonetheless, having some exposure to controlling a plane in those, again, I had no ground knowledge of what I was doing. Still helped a ton when it actually came to flying a real plane. My mom was doing everything she could to stop me from flying at all. She was really against that, but thankfully she got over it. So parent-wise, they were full with whatever. They said kind of, whatever makes you get a career, and so they were fine with it. It was more of a personal choice that I wanted the 4-year. I still kind of wanted to get a degree. I've been doing online school for a while now, but kind of slowed down on that because at this point I really don't need it now. The way that I negotiated with them was that I would finish it while I was training, which it was a lie when I said it, but now when they saw that aviation, all the airlines were taking away the bachelor requirement, they kind of unanimously agreed that really there's no point in having it now.
My dad actually got his private pilot's license here at Sling, so he was very for being a pilot. My mom, on the other hand, she is terrified of heights, gets motion sick, and she's terrified by the idea of like small aircraft. And she raised me since birth to go to college, get a 4-year degree. That was her dream. But she was Team Sling as soon as we explained to her the whole pilot shortage and that Sling is the fastest pathway to get there. And being a pilot nowadays, you don't need a degree, and you can still have tons of career opportunities, and there's still room for like career growth and promotion. So as soon as we explained that to her, she was Team Sling.
Or just like go for it, hopefully get to the majors and get your number, then you could always later get your degree.
My mom married a pilot, so when she heard her daughter was going to be a pilot, she was like, all right. The college thing, they knew there was no way I was going to go to college anyways. I had no interest. They knew from when I was young too that I was just like, it's just not for me.
When I first started 3 years ago, I was like the young kid that everyone would laugh at. I think I joined when I was like 19. Yeah, now seeing all these new classes start, it's like everyone's 18. It's nice to see. The atmosphere's changed a lot. It's really gone from being just a school where people come and go to being like a actual campus where people come here, they study for the day, they do their flight, they study a little more, and they go home. We always say we have a family atmosphere, but it's really started to grow. There's a lot of study groups that form right away. People bond really well. It's changed for the better recently.
Yeah, this place is great compared to other flight schools, and I'd say it's honestly a college. Yeah, just like the social aspect. I meet people every day I come here and stuff, so it's really cool. It's like aviation's like that too, like as you go on your job, everyone talks to each other. That's how you like find jobs and gigs and meet new people and stuff, new opportunities. So it's the best place. It starts right here.
I never felt like I was missing out on the college experience, because here everyone is so social, and we all hang out after class, and it's just really fun, and the community here is super uplifting and encouraging and very motivating. So I love everyone here.
I think it's better than a college campus, or doesn't feel like school. Kind of just feels like home. Doesn't feel like it's somewhere I feel like I have to be, somewhere I want to be. The people here, you're just surrounded by like a really incredible group of people.
Yeah, so it was like one night my dad sent me a YouTube video, like an old video Sling made, and it was just talking about the planes. That was kind of my big thing. I was a little reluctant to general aviation. I wasn't a fan of flying a old 1952 Cessna with duct tape everywhere. But when I saw that Sling here was all touchscreens, the oldest plane was like 2014. That immediately called to me. Yeah, I think Jean definitely confirmed it on the tour when he asked, "Do you want to have a little fun in the plane?" And that made me kind of see what aviation is and how much I love it. So I'm sure that probably did it for everyone else too.
So I was actually checking out other colleges, such as the Air Force Academy, Embry-Riddle, Purdue. But what really sold me on Sling is not only their stellar reputation, but just the community here. Like, the people are amazing. They're super motivating and uplifting. And as soon as you walk in the door, back there, you're greeted with hello. It's great to see you. And the study groups here are just super helpful. Everyone's eager to learn and to help you out. They want to bring out the best pilot that you can be. And, like Andrew said, the planes are so sexy. Like, they're amazing.
I was checking out a bunch of flight schools across the country with my 2 buddies and my dad. We went to like schools in Arizona. We went to the one that my dad went to in Florida. Like, we're possibly going to move out there, move to Arizona. Checked out like some around here, but then like my dad told me, was like, yo, there's like something called Sling. We did like the test fly with John, and we just had a great time. And then like we're just walking around like hangars, saw like how everyone's talking to each other, and we're like, wow, it's just amazing,
Well, me and my dad would just cruise around different places and go into flight schools, and we'd end up walking into these like little alleys and up these stairs, and it was just like this little building that was like falling apart with like one classroom. And then like about like some 152s outside. And then I'm actually pretty sure my dad flew with Mikey's dad. And Mikey's dad told my dad, like, hey, my son and his 2 friends are going to this super incredible flight school, like, tell your daughter. And he did, and we came and toured here, and it was just, I remember walking in the first day, it was just like, I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. It didn't even look real. It looked like a set. And you walk outside, and there's just like, they're building airplanes, people are studying and talking, and like, it was extraordinary. And it was just like, we both looked at each other, we were like, this is it.
My best piece of advice is honestly just good study habits. For every like hour of flight is probably 3 or 4 hours of studying and textbook work. So just establish good study habits beforehand, and fall asleep listening to the ATC, that will definitely help you out.
Just say send it to Sling, you know, just take a flight with John, you know, go mess around up there, see how fun it is. I mean, honestly though, the first time I've flown, like I was so scared, so like it takes a couple of times to really get used to it, because you know, you are in like a little tiny plane, like flying around and stuff, but after that, you know, like if you're really into it, just get started with the ground school, you know, it gives you like a little taste, you know, but it's definitely worth it in the end. So I'd say aviation's like, it's the way to go for sure.
It is nothing like you'll ever do in your entire life. You can sit in a cubicle or you can be 18,000 feet looking down on everyone else. It's otherworldly. Don't wing it, sling it.
So don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps us with our channel. We really appreciate it.